So for the last few months, I've been feeling a bit lost. Right now, I'm in my 4th year of medical school, currently in the grind for residency programs. And once again, for what feels like the 100th time in my life, I'm at another crossroads. I guess it's a symptom of being medical. Our path is so long, we chronically have this feeling of falling behind. Like, I'm watching all of my childhood friends get married, set up roots and start their lives.
Take me back home. Got a big bag of bones.
But here I am, about to leave behind all the friends and the life I've established with no idea where I'll end up next year, having invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into school just to start all over again. Maybe you don't relate to my exact situation per se, but there is something that I know most of us have faced to some extent, and that's feeling hopeless. As I reflect on the past 10 years of my life, how far I've come towards becoming a doctor, I know I should be more excited. But then I look around at all the people I've lost touch with, experiences I've missed out on, all these could-have-beens. Honestly, I don't even know what's important to me anymore. So this holiday, I decided to take a step away from the city in the virtual wasteland of social media. I'm out here in Joshua Tree, the desert, to clear my head and figure out for myself, what is this feeling of hopelessness? Why does it happen to us? What I'm learning from facing it? And where do we go from here? So why do we feel hopeless? Hope begins to fade as a result of repeated failures or rejections in all areas of our lives. For me, it was doing poorly on an exam I studied really hard for. It was getting rejected for a second date or even a first date. It's getting the rejection letter from a residency program. It's screwing up a patient encounter. I was walking on a straight path, chasing my dreams until these little failures started to push me off center. They told me I wasn't good enough and attacked my ego. And the thing about our ego is that it's wimpy. It's super sensitive to emotional pain. So our mind subconsciously does everything it can to avoid this pain. And it does so by injecting thoughts of hopelessness. As my mental strain grew, it reached a point where the easiest path to emotional relief was to just give up. Why should I keep trying? Why should I pour all of this energy and investment into my relationships or career when clearly, no matter what I'm doing, it's not working? And so I surrendered to it. I said, screw it all. I'm just gonna go bury my Diglett ass underground and disappear. But what happened next was interesting. I actually felt better for a little while. It was kind of comforting, accepting defeat. I let go of possible rejections, abandonments, failures. All of these emotions that were crippling me, I could let go of because I was no longer walking on the path. I wouldn't even put myself in those situations anymore to fail. What I realize now is that I only felt better because I didn't have to try anymore, and that was a relief. But in actuality, I was suffering from a deeper pain than before. Because once we surrender, that means we accept that our life will be miserable. We accept that there's no meaning to what we do, no movement on our path, and no direction. And so as time went on, I started to feel resentful, like pissed off about how unfair life was. And so I tried to use that as fuel to angrily motivate myself. But the moment I got ready to make a change, that hopelessness came surging back, stronger than before, and then beat me down again. This is part of the reason why I decided to come out here. I could feel my sense of hopelessness rising again, and I decided it was time to take a step out of my own life. Like physically, I wanted to place myself in a completely new environment, away from my messy life to think more clearly, away from all the constant reminders that I failed or I was rejected, or I wasn't getting any closer to attaining the kind of life that I wanted to live. I needed to clean out my cache, reorganize my folders, and figure out which files were taking up too much space on my mental hard drive. And I don't think I've got it completely figured out. I don't think I ever will, but I've had a good amount of time to think about my life and gain some insight into hopelessness. So where does hopelessness actually come from? Hopelessness comes from fixation on a desired outcome. Our ego wants to protect us from emotional pain. And if we can understand this, then there's actually a powerful mindset shift that can redirect hopelessness. By thinking that things will only work out under one desired outcome, we're basically trapping ourselves in an impossible situation. And so if there's one pearl I want you to take away from this video, it's this. Despite what we feel or what we think, we have absolutely no control over how things play out, ever, in any situation. No matter how hard I study, there's never a guarantee that I'll ace an exam. No matter how funny or handsome I am, there's no guarantee that this woman will eventually become my lover. The more we try to control each and every aspect of our life, the more we invite in hopelessness, because there are unlimited micro events and unaccounted influences that can prevent the perfect scenario from playing out. So if success is only based on one outcome, then the odds will never be in our favor. Instead, I want to provide a better approach. Set goals, but let go of expectations and focus on the experience. Focus on having as much fun as you can doing what you're doing. Focus on enjoying the experience, immersing yourself in your work, your school, relationships, every single day. And the outcomes will reflect your energy. Because there is only one thing you can control, and that is how you experience life. If things go sideways or get slippery, that's fine. You're just here to learn and have the best damn time of your life. If I get rejected by another residency program, that's okay. I had fun getting to meet the faculty. If I get rejected by another girl, that's fine. I had no expectations. I was just focused on having an incredible experience, And I'm gonna do that again next time. Remove the impossible idea that you can control anything other than your own experience. Do this so we won't even allow hopelessness and opportunity to tear us down. So to put it all together, the next time you start to get that fleeting thought of hopelessness, here's what you should do. First, just acknowledge it. Oh, hey, what's up, hopelessness? You're here again. Next, remember that its only purpose is to try and protect you from something that's out of your control, which doesn't make any sense, right? Follow this process to cultivate awareness of how hopelessness works in our mind. Just notice whenever hopelessness creeps in, and then laugh at it. Laugh at it like it's that stupid younger sibling. Well, I guess that's me. And we have to keep doing this over and over again. Only once we're able to tame our thoughts and recognize where these thoughts are coming from, then we can begin the next step to reprogram our mind to approach things differently. And the mindset shift here is to let go of expectations and focus on having the best damn time possible. Give it your all and get carried away in the experience. Have as much fun as you can, because that's what you can control, your own experience. So what can you take away from this video? Well, for starters, you're not alone. Almost all of us feel a sense of hopelessness at some point. Maybe you've been feeling it for a while. But if that's where you are right now, then stop running from it. It might be time to step away from the mess. Take a minute or even a few days to face it, dig into it. Understand why it happens, where the thoughts come from, and how you can reframe your mindset to handle it more appropriately. Is it gonna be difficult? Absolutely. Is it gonna hurt? Most likely. But is it hopeless? Not at all. Stay strong, stay safe, everyone, and check out some of these videos over here if you're not done with your YouTube binge.